So it's been an interesting couple of days for the Boston Bruins, touching up first on the Tampa Bay game. We'll keep it short and sweet because there wasn't too much really to talk about in a positive light. Tuukka Rask has another solid game, 26 saves. Kevin Miller gets a goal, as awkward as that is. And then it pretty much went straight downhill. After that Miller goal, you get another weird embellishment call on Chara. Adam McQuaid, my God. I feel so sorry for Adam McQuaid. If that was somebody like Duncan Keith, that would be on a blooper reel. It's going to be on blooper reels anyway. But people would just laugh it off, being like, he looks human. But because it's Adam McQuaid, because he's overpaid, and because this Bruins season has been so it's been so, inconsistent is the word I can't help but use. Because the season's gone the way it is, it just looks so bad. So bad for Adam McQuaid to give up a goal that way. And of course, Zach Ronaldo ends up getting suspended, ends up getting 5 games. Which brings me to the trade deadline, because obviously I've delayed this video a bit. It's a day after the deadline. Obviously the Bruins-Tampa game was a couple of days ago at this point. But again, there wasn't too much to talk about with Tampa. But as far as the deadline goes, a pretty disappointing and boring deadline, all things considered. Not too many major moves on deadline day. And the Bruins, in the final hour, really the final minutes, the 2 trades didn't break until after the deadline. And unfortunately, obviously not the trades we were expecting. We'll start off first with Louis Eriksson staying. Now again, leading up to this, perfectly happy if he stayed, perfectly happy if he goes, but the leverage is gone. The only way Louis stays is if they overpay for him. He and his agent have all of the bargaining power here. So I'm a little bit afraid. I don't want to see Louis walk away for free. Maybe they'll trade his rights at the draft. I don't want to see him walk away for free. But again, when you have Don Sweeney saying, well, he's essentially our rental, just act as though we acquired him, that kind of shows you that they're going to end up losing Louis for free. Problem is the team strong enough that you can consider him a rental? Andrew Ladd is a rental. Chicago is primed for a cup run. Are the Bruins primed for a cup run? I think we all know the answer to that. And then when you consider the fact that your other rentals are Lee Stempniak and John Michael Lyles. Now I'll say this about the Lyles trade. Obviously Anthony Kamara, a 3rd and a 5th round pick. Does it make the team better now? Yes, it does. Lyles is a more well-rounded player. Obviously, in terms of name value, it's not really there. This isn't the Colorado John Michael Lyles where everyone was sure he was going to be a dynamite top 4 defenseman. But certainly, obviously at 35 years old, more experienced than some of the other defenders on this team. Now, as far as what they gave away for him, Anthony Kamara was never going to crack this lineup. A 5th round pick isn't too bad. A 3rd round pick. The Bruins are just throwing away these picks like it's fucking running out of style. And you have some people on Twitter saying, oh, well, it doesn't matter. What are the chances of getting somebody good? And then, they signed guys like Asiari, who was just called up, and Vetrano out of NCAA, so it kind of diminishes those picks' values anyway, because they're still getting players. And to that, I say that attitude is obviously shared by Don Sweeney and is really going to screw this team over down the line. So the Lyles trade, I'm all right with it. Really wish there wasn't a 3rd round pick in there, but hey, not as bad as the Ronaldo 3rd round pick trade. But moving on to slightly happier thoughts, it's Lee Stempniak for a 2nd and a 4th. Now, leading scorer for the Devils, Lee Stempniak. 2nd round pick seems a little bit high, especially for a player you declined to offer a contract to back at the start of the season. So all I can say is it's shocking that the Devils were able to do this because they don't have Lou Lamoriello, but just shocking that they were able to pull this off. Hey, yeah, you know the guy you passed up on at the beginning of the season? Yeah, we'll take 2 picks for him. Thank you. It's tough because every fiber of my being wants to say these moves were just awful. And in the future, I got a feeling I'm going to be able to say that, but I cannot deny in this moment it makes the Bruins better. And at the very least, and again, no hostility Vancouver, but at the very least, Don Sweeney is still a little bit of a step above Jim Benning. Unbelievable that Ham, Hughes, and Bravado were not dealt. And I could continue to ramble on, but I think I'm going to cut it off there because now the same questions kind of remain. what's going to happen with Louis? Are the Bruins going to overextend for him? Lyles and Stempniak seem like they are clear rentals, especially with some of the prospects the Bruins have in Providence who could get time on those top two lines. Of course, we've seen Coco and Seth Griffith not really be able to bring that to the NHL, but you would hope next year, if at all, they'd be able to do it. Obviously, there's contract situations there. Bottom line is the same old questions remain. We know this team, unless by some miracle they catch fire heading into the playoffs, are probably destined for a first round or at the best a second round exit. The same questions remain. Where is this team going? And it's going to make for a very interesting final few games here with these reviews, because I don't know. I don't know what to expect. They improved the team now, but in the future, are they actually going to be able to turn it around? Is Don Sweeney's wild ride going to pay off? But again, that is it for this recap. More questions than answers. Certainly not the way I was hoping to feel after deadline day. But let me know down below what you thought of the Bruins moves. And hey, if you're not a Bruins fan, which would be weird, very weird if you're watching this video, but if you're not a Bruins fan, let me know how you thought your team did for the deadline day or leading up to the deadline day, because obviously that's where most of the big moves occurred. As always, if you've enjoyed, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe for more recaps after every single Bruins game. Eventually, spread the word as well, and I will see you all next time.